bothers me. Let's put them all into one story. Good morning, countdown 2 days until November 1st, and I am doing NaNoWriMo this year. If you haven't heard of NaNoWriMo, it stands for National Novel Writing Month, where you set a goal to write at least 50,000 words towards a novel or a project in the month of November. As I've said before, I am not a novelist. My husband is the writer in this family. However, I had an idea for a story about 2 months ago while I was driving home from work, and I have not been able to stop thinking about it. I want to put pen to paper. I want to create this story. And so NaNoWriMo is the perfect motivation for me to do so. Now, I'm not going to kid myself. I am not a professional. This novel is never going to be published. For me, this is more of a way to challenge myself, but also create something just for the sake of creating. And this is not actually the first time that I have tried NaNoWriMo. I started a project when I was a senior in high school in 2013 called Project POP. And I remember POP standing for like Population Overload Project. I don't know. Apparently I wrote over 30,000 words towards the novel. It had something to do with like teenagers getting sent to this like island, and they had to start a new like community, kind of Lord of the Flies, but in a structured sense. I remember thinking it wasn't very good. Even with it being 9 years since I've done this, I am hoping that this is the year that I can commit to writing 50,000 words. In order to write 50,000 words in 30 days, you need to write about 1,667 words a day, which if you've ever been a writer, you know that that is a lot of words. That is more than a hobby. That is extreme dedication. And of course, the coolest part about the website is the graphs and stats that it has. So this is from Project POP, and you can see what your goal is to reach 50,000 words in 30 days, and you can see what you actually did. So I didn't even start until November 8th. November 16th, I kind of flatlined, and then I decided to pick it back up on November 25th and busted out as many words as I could. So I have a premise in my head, but this morning's goal is to start planning, outlining everything that I need so that I can start writing on November 1st. So let's do it. All right, I've set my rewards to keep me motivated. And for 15,000 words, I am going to get a new keyboard. The keyboard that I currently have, I really do like. It's very clicky and it makes the process of writing enjoyable. However, it drives me crazy that it is too big to be stored under my laptop stand. So then the only question is, do I want pink or white? On my desk setup, I think I want white. I like the pink better, but I think white will match better. And I'm ordering this now because free delivery delivers on November 4th. And I want it to be ready for me to literally unbox when I hit 15,000 words on the dot, instead of like ordering it at 15,000 words and then not being able to use it until 25,000 words. The biggest reward is really the keyboard. At 25,000 words, I am going to go have a writing session in a cafe. And at 35,000, I'm going to have a writing session at my favorite little book bar. So things to look forward to, things to celebrate my progress, and things to keep me motivated. Sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. So my first step today is to research what I should be planning to set myself up for success when it comes to writing. Lucky for me, it seems like there is no one agreed upon way to plan your novel, which is great because that means I can justify whatever unorganized madness I come up with. I have these note cards and this wall, and once I am done with the big thematic ideas of the novel, I am going to start storyboarding that will provide me some structure as I start writing. I want to happen in my story. And I'm at the midpoint. And this is where I'm like, this story could go so many different ways. I've just been click, 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 click. And now I'm like, stare, think, process. I'm doing some research. So there's this thing called the social cycle theory, and the theory argues that events and stages of society and history generally repeat themselves in cycles. So I'm gonna read into this a little bit and see how I can incorporate this philosophy into the main character's personal philosophy. I have about 45 minutes before I need to go to work. I do not have time to start my index cards now, so I'm going to do those tonight. Then I'm gonna get my husband's opinion on everything. Part of me wants to wait to get his opinion until things are a little bit more fleshed out, but I don't want to write in the wrong direction, so I'm going to see if he will give me any thoughts on where I'm taking this story so far. All right, see you tonight. Back from work. Tonight we're supposed to get like a thunderstorm, so it is going to be the perfect cozy night to stay inside and get my storyboard ready. What do you remember about what I've told you? I'm gonna walk through what I have so far. You stop me, or if you have thoughts or you think something's bad. The main character, I don't really like her name, but I like the way that it looks when it's written.
From V for Vendetta.
That's obscure enough. Love, I'm worried that this is like too much of like, it's a little like, here's every idea that I've ever had, and here's everything that's wrong with the world that bothers me. Let's put them all into one story. And they're, you know, childhood best friends. I do not have a romantic plot line. You like it? Oh wait, there's more. I have done as much prep today as I think makes sense for me and is reasonable. And I am so excited about this. I just want to count down the hours until November 1st. I just want to write this story. The beginning is definitely more fleshed out than the ending. And I'm not sure if I even like the direction that the ending is going, but I'm not going to get to that in NaNoWriMo anyways. My goal was for this novel to be just under 100,000 words, the 95 to 100,000 zone. So while we were eating dinner, I gave my husband a rundown of my plot because he is a writer, he thinks like a writer, he has much more experience writing than I do. We got through the part one, the beginning of my story, and he is my biggest fan. So I'm gonna get started writing on Friday, and I will see you in a couple weeks for a week one update and writing vlog. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.